Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Vietnam vegan, and today is a what I eat in a day where I'm home all day. Honestly, not that different from my everyday, but you know what, we're here. I have been trying this thing, which is like a trend that everyone has been trying, and I was like, how good is this really? Turns out it's really good. I'm making dalgona coffee. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically whipped coffee meringue spooned over like an iced coffee or like an iced milk. It's delicious. It's kind of a labor of love because basically you take 1 tablespoon of this, 1 tablespoon of freeze-dried instant coffee. You guys know how I was not on a coffee thing anymore? Well, dalgona coffee put me back on coffee. 1 tablespoon of sugar. I think yesterday I actually used less than a tablespoon and it was fine, but I forgot and I just went for it. 1 tablespoon of water. There are some recipes that say you need to use hot water. I don't think it really matters as long as you whisk it. I'm gonna do this for about 10 minutes. Good exercise for taking out your anger. If you have like a hand mixer, you can use that. I don't have one. I have like a big stand mixer. I don't need to make that much. I've also been told that you can use a blender bottle, but I'm using like this chocolate dip whisk thing that I got when I was really into confectionery stuff, like in university. Now I don't really eat that many sweets. Anyway, I'm gonna whisk this and I'll show you the process, the transformation shortly, because you don't need to see me whipping this for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing.
Hi, hello, it's future editing Lisa here. I got dalgona coffee all over my microphone, so the rest of this video is going to be dubbed over with voiceover because the audio is hot garbage. But you know what? That's fine. We're here. We're together, and I've got some delicious food coming. This is dalgona coffee. I feel like I should have whipped it a little bit longer, but it's okay. It was fine. It's just a little bit stickier if you don't like continue whipping it. It's a lot easier if you are doing it with a hand mixer or if you're using like a proper whisk and not this little tiny whisk that I had. The result is still quite delicious. I really enjoyed it. So this is what I had for my quote unquote breakfast. My appetite has been kind of like low lately, probably because I haven't been able to exercise or go to the gym that much just because I haven't had the motivation or just like the bandwidth to, but it's fine. My appetite has just adjusted to compensate. So this is about 2 hours later. I had lunch, but this is just like a kind of random stew that I had. I posted it in my stories if you guys want to see the recipe. I'll link in the description the rough estimates. This is just like pantry cooking. So it's just like beans, bunch of vegetables, herbs, spices, vegetable broth, and voila, soup. And before we dive into what else I ate today, let me tell you about Squarespace. If you're starting a new side hustle, finally starting that blog that you've always wanted to, or you need a website to showcase your portfolio, Squarespace is an incredible platform that has beautiful pre-made templates that are simple and easy to work with. I used it for my wedding website and it only took me a couple hours to get everything set up. It's so incredibly easy and great for people who want to get just a beautiful website up and running without fussing too much about it. So if you want to get started on Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/VietVegan and use code VietVegan for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. So a couple hours later, around like 4 o'clock, I think it was, I was feeling a little snacky, so I had myself some salsa and que pasa tortilla chips. So here I'm making this dal sort of. I'm trying to experiment with the Instant Pot. Right now we have like another tenant who lives with us, and so I've been making dinner for the 3 of us. It's forced me to sort of cook a lot more, especially with quarantine. So I've been making a lot more things in the Instant Pot because I usually end up aiming to make dinner for 7 o'clock, but then I lose track of time like I'm doing right now. It is 5:30 and I should be cooking dinner right now, but instead I'm voice-overing this video. It still takes time to put things under pressure, but I find overall it's faster than cooking on the stove. I am sauteing a bunch of onions in the Instant Pot over the saute function. I added ginger and I think I added some garlic powder. I have a proper dal recipe that looks better and is better than the one that I made here in this Instant Pot version. You guys will see the results in a second. I'll leave the link to that recipe down below. It is one of my favorite dishes to make ever and Eddie really likes it. So then I sauteed these until they got caramelized. I actually kind of forgot about them a little bit because I was cooking or like cutting up other stuff. So what I ended up doing was lifting it up with a bit of water to deglaze the bottom. Also because my Instant Pot was giving me that like hot error, so it like turned off. So I had to add water to, you know, lift up that caramelization and just like keep my Instant Pot freaking out. Then I added a bunch of spices. Again, this will be linked in the description down below in the dal recipe. It's just a blend of a bunch of spices, but yeah, it is gonna get all pasty and thick and really fragrant and very tasty smelling. My original recipe uses a lot more oil, but you don't have to use that much oil. I didn't for this anyway, but the oil does make it more flavorful. So then I added some rinsed red lentils and some white potatoes. I actually bought a giant bag of white potatoes. This recipe was one of a few recipes that I was trying to like make a bunch of white potato type recipes, which are all kind of like soup recipes because white potatoes do really well in soup recipes since they hold their shape really well. And then I added a bit of coconut milk for creaminess / to use up some that I had left in the fridge, and then some tomato paste because the original recipe asked for tomatoes and I didn't have any, and normally I would have diced tomatoes if I didn't have any tomatoes at all, but I don't have any of those either, so I just used some tomato paste. It worked, but it wasn't quite the same because I find that the tomatoes add like a good amount of liquid to this dish as well. So I cooked it at high pressure in the Instant Pot for about 8 minutes. So it was probably about like 40 minutes total of cooking time. Next time I think I'll bring it down to 3 minutes of Instant Pot because as you can see here, the consistency is kind of pasty and rough and not that great. So red lentils turns out takes less than 8 minutes to cook. I probably should have known that. It's probably like 2 minutes. So I added some spinach to sort of like loosen it up a little bit. Yeah, I might use different lentils or maybe I'll just cook it for shorter. It was very tasty. I did have to add a lot more salt because everything just absorbed all the flavor. So it just needed a lot more to carry through, but it was good over rice. And to drink with it, we made a pineapple / carbonated water sort of beverage. I find that most juices are too sweet for me, so I usually cut it with some bubbly water or just regular water. In this case, I used carbonated water and it was delicious. So at this point, I still hadn't realized that my microphone was busted, but I am using this new plant-based basil butter that I found at the grocery store, and I like that it is in like foil packaging instead of like a plastic tub. I really want to try this in cookies because I have found mixed results, whether I'm using Earth Balance versus basil margarine and then melt or other kinds of vegan butter. So I decided to use this. It has like a very buttery flavor, but I want to use it in chocolate chip cookies. Now I have a recipe for this already on my blog, but I've also got a recent video where Eddie makes these cookies, which a lot of you found very entertaining. It was very funny to edit. But yes, the overall results of the butter test is that I really like them. I find that they have a lower water content, so they don't like melt out as much as a lot of other vegan butters do, which can be good or can be bad depending on what you want, but it'd be really good for like buttercreams. I did find that I had to smush down the cookies a little bit more throughout the cooking process, but afterwards, like it was a perfect flavor. Like using the salted butter makes it taste so good. The only thing that I wish it could do is brown butter. That's like the only thing that I miss that cannot be replicated as a vegan. I have tried, trust me. I don't know what my voice got so low there. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I think I ate like 5 or 6 of these cookies, and then, no, I probably ate like 3 of these cookies with some, did I have soy milk? I don't think I did. I think I just had water. I think I had cookies and water. It was just what I wanted and it was very delicious. I hope that you guys enjoyed this very random what I eat in a day where I'm eating, I don't know, a bunch of food. I have a what I eat in a week coming up soon because you guys requested it in my Instagram post recently. So look forward to that. Again, very sorry that my microphone was ruined by dalgona coffee, but I think I've remedied it. It'll still happen in the beginning of the next video, but you know, we'll work it out. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys are all staying safe, staying home if you can, and just doing what makes you happy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye-bye!